What up, YouTube? So I've got this old military case that it's a 105 shell from a C-130 that I used to work on, Spectra gunships, when I got it in the desert. And I never polished it. It's always just kind of been ratty. So I figured we're gonna polish it, we're gonna make it look good, and then so it's something that you can stick on a nightstand, and I don't know, put it behind the couch or whatever. So. Alright, so now I'm up here, got my glue gun, my hot glue gun, and I've got the blank that I just cut out of wood, and I'm going to glue it to the back side of the shell so that my headstock here doesn't, or tailstock doesn't hurt the back end of the shell. Now we have to wait for it to warm up.
Does it really take that long?
10 years later, still waiting. Is it on? It's Harbor Freight.
You know, they got some good stuff in
They
some.
do. They do. They got good stuff, but I was cheap. I need the upgraded model Harbor Freight. Here we go. Let's get this going. Oh, that's fine. Alright, so now we got the shell all chucked up and it's spinning. It's a little out of round, but it's nothing to be worried about. Looks safe enough to work on. So I'm going to grab some sandpaper now and we're going to start doing a little sanding.
At what grit do you want to start at? Or are you going to start at?
I'm going to start at a 220 grit. We're going to work our way up from there. So I went ahead and I took my watch off. I took my long sleeve shirt off because I don't want to get caught up in this and anything goes wrong. And I got some 220 grit. We're going to go ahead and start polishing it, see, working our way on down the shell, see how it turns out. Alright, so we just ran through using 220 to polish up the brass on this shell. So now I'm going to move into 320, and we're going to work our way up, continue working our way up through the sandpaper.
How hard are you gonna go, do you think?
I believe we're going to try to go up to 3,000. So. So we're looking pretty good. 320, really cleaned it up a lot from the 220. So now we're going to step it up to 400 and continue on. So now we're going to step up to some 800 and continue to clean up the shell. It's looking good. It's actually feeling a lot smoother too. So we're let's move into it. So now that we're through with 800, we're gonna step up to 1,000 grit and clean it up even some more. It's looking really good. Alright, so we've just ran through 1,000 grit, and if you look at it, it's looking really good. Now we do have a little bit of pitting here from some dents that I didn't know were there, but that's alright. I'll clean that up on the buffing wheel when I get to that. But the rest of this stuff is just, it really is looking good. Alright, so now I'm up to 2,000 grit, and we're gonna maybe take a little extra time with it, really see if we can make it shine up real good here. So now we're up to our 3000 grit. Last sandpaper before I go to the buffer. It's really looking really good. We just have to get to the buffing stage, I guess. All right, here we go. Disclaimer, I'm not a professional. Do this at your own risk. Alright, so we're done with our 3000 grit, and it's looking really good, and we're going to take it over and stick it under some better lighting, get a better look at it, and then I'm going to buff it with the buffing wheel and see if we could polish it completely up. So, alright tubies, here we are, we're back. We're getting ready to do some buffing on the shell. We're at the next stage. We're going to dress it with a first buffing compound, and then we're going to do our first buff and get into it. Alright tubies, before we get started, I want to get this back piece off here that we had on there when it was on the wood lathe. Just going to get that off, and then we're just going to go ahead and start our buffing process. So let's get started. Tubies, so we just got through with our first buffing compound, and wow, it's really starting to look a lot better. So we're gonna step into the next compound and give it a even finer buff and see what that looks like. Wow. That's amazing. So we'll just step into the next. Let me wipe it down. I mean, we're talking 10 times what it was. Oh yeah, look at that. Well, there's one more compound, and we'll step into that, and it should bring it just a little bit better. But I say, wow, I could have that on my shelf any day. So, let's do it. Alright, so we're back now. I just changed out the buffing wheel for a cleaner buffing wheel so that we can kind of, yeah. We changed out the buffing wheel because the other one was dirty. We wanted to see if by using a clean one that it might kind of clean up the garbage that's already on the shell. So let's go ahead and see what that looks like. Look at that. That looks absolutely amazing. Be able to put that on the shelf and be proud of it. Yeah, looks good to me. And if you could, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe this video. We are a new YouTube channel, and this is our first YouTube channel. So if we could get it out there and start getting the algorithm going, we'd appreciate it. So thank you, and you have a great day.